Hi, Annette. My goodness, girlfriend. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you? Welcome. Susan, hello. I'm going to wait just a couple minutes and let people join. Today we're going to be altering a recipe box to make a card box. I made one of these for my mother-in-law for one of her Christmas gifts. And so I don't have it to show because, of course, I wrapped it up and shipped it out. Good to see you too, Annette. How are you? So these are recipe boxes, and I do have them in the store. And we're going to work on altering it to make it fit cards. Cards are a little taller than what the box is. So we're going to make it fit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the lid off. I'm just going to take my very sharp craft knife and just cut right along that seam. Cuts off really clean. And then we're going to cut off the ribbon that holds them together. And a really sharp craft knife works great for this. It's a good day to be inside crafting. It is cold and windy outside. You step outside and it feels like it could probably snow, and probably should. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm just going to ink all of my edges on the craft box. And I'm just going to kind of color that in so it's a little darker so that when it opens it doesn't look funky. And it doesn't matter if you go over on the sides because we're going to be covering it with paper. But I'd rather have wind and rain than snow. Hello, Margaret. How are you? I was just talking about how I would rather have wind and rain than snow like you have. Last year we ended up having a white Christmas, which didn't go over so well because we were supposed to go down to my brother's after we left my son's house, but you couldn't get up and down their street because they live on a big hill. So we ended up just coming home afterwards and snuggling up and watching movies. Okay, so we got all our edges inked. And you can do it in whatever. Oh, I got to do the lid. And I am going to, this is going to be the last class I do until after the holidays. I might do one between Christmas and New Year's. But I think what the plan is going to be for me is to do cards for right now. Like I said, I don't want to get into anything that's too time consuming. And so I think we're just going to work on cards, and I will probably do up some card kits for the cards that I'm using. The snowman cards that we made last week were a huge hit. I didn't realize how fun they would be and how well everybody would receive them. So I'm just going to do up some inexpensive card kits for the cards we make to fill up our box. Does anybody think that that's a good idea? Okay, so we've got our box cut apart, and now we're going to start covering it. And so I'm going to start with the base of the box. Tried to make sure I had everything I needed, but of course you always forget something. So, excuse me, every box says, "Hi, Charlotte." Every box is different, so I would measure your box. This one says it's about 6.5. So I'm going to cut my paper. I'm going to get a scratch piece of paper so I can write my stuff down so I don't have to measure more than once. So I'm going to cut mine at 6.25. And it says 3, so I'm going to go 2 3/4. And I'm going to cut that out twice, once for the front, once for the back. And I'm just using papers that I have in my stash. This one is from the Prima, I believe it's the Rose Quartz paper line. I've been having so much fun. My son and his girlfriend have 3 girls between the 2 of them. 2 of them are 8 and 1 is 6. And they love crafts. So I put together, that's going to be my 6.5. So this is going to be my 6.25. So I went and got I want it to be 2 3. I'm gonna cut it this way. So I'm gonna do 2 3/4 this way because this is how I want my paper to go. I went and got him some iris boxes, 12 by 12 ones, and have filled them with projects. I cut a bunch of card kit type things for them to put together, and I put them in baggies so that they could make cards. And then I stamped all of my Prima dolls on paper so that they could color them. And then I die cut a bunch of things with my silhouette for them to put on things, and just filled it, just packed full of fun things for them to use. Okay, so I cut it so that there's a little bit of the box showing all around the edges. And that looks like a pretty good fit. So I'm going to ink the edges of the paper. My silhouette was working all day yesterday. I cut out umbrellas and boots and flowers and tags and just all kinds of things for them to use. The iris boxes are so full. I thought I was going to have to put some packaging in it to keep them from sliding around when I ship them, but I didn't have to do that. So I can't wait to see what their reaction to it is. So, and you know me, I like to use my Pioneer glue stick for things like this. It is my go-to for paper to chipboard. And this is paper mache, which is pretty close to chipboard. But I make sure I get enough glue around the edges. And I sent them glue, and I found some, you know, those decorative scissors and some punches that I had, and I keep forgetting I have to scroll down. I do have these, the recipe boxes in the store. So now we're going to do the other side. And I keep all of my old printer paper. Of course, you know, I print out the orders that I get. And so I keep my paper that I print out so that I can use it as glue paper. That way I can just fold it up and throw it away. And I don't have to worry about getting glue on my desk. So I thought what I'd do is we'd make like 3 different styles of cards with the same products. And I'd send enough stuff in the kits to make 4 of each style of cards. So you'll get 12 cards in each kit. I need a baby wipe. I think they'll really like those gifts. They spend, my son's 2 daughters come and see him, well, 3 weekends a month, and then he has them every Wednesday. And so he said they love to do crafts. All right, so now we're going to cover the ends of the box. And this one says it's about a little less than 3.5. So I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. So this one is already cut to the height. So we can just cut the length. And we've started FaceTiming with them. And so I thought it might be fun if I show them. I know what I sent to them. So 3 1/4. So I could do cards and stuff with them on FaceTime. It looks like a good fit. And you can pretty much cover these with one piece of designer paper. Oh no, Annette. Must be my wind. My wind's blowing you away. I know that Josh has showed them some of my videos. And you just want to center these. Kind of eyeball it to make sure it's lining up with the side so it doesn't look wonky when you look at it. So is everybody ready for Christmas? I think I'm pretty much done shopping. Got a couple of boxes I gotta send to California, so I better get those done. I'm gonna wrap up the girls' boxes and get them out the door. And I'm so excited. I got a message from Jody Beck, who owns Chico Scrapbooks in California, and she said that she got a notification that there were 7 boxes there for her to pick up. So the boxes that we sent for the victims of the campfire should have our donations pretty soon. So I sent them, oh, lots and lots of supplies. Okay, so now we're going to do the top. And then we can start the fun part of decorating. Okay, so this is gonna measure about 6.5, so we're gonna do this at 6 1/4. And it measures about 1 1/4, so we're gonna do by 1 inch. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces at 1 inch. I might just go a smidge over 1 inch. I'm ready to get back to regular everyday life. And let's see, that's going to be 6 1/4 right there. I'm glad I went 1 inch and a smidge. So it's like 1 inch and 1/8. Okay, so let's go ahead and ink the sides of these. It looks like it's going to be a good fit. And I had some of the white and black Nuvo drops left over from the snowman and some of the clear Wink Estella pens, and I've gone ahead and listed those in the store. So if you just want or need some of that, they are there. I do have a couple of the packages of calendar there's left in the store. Those went pretty fast. It's going to be a little bit bigger of a gap on the edges of the top because I think it's a little bit bigger, but they line up pretty good from the top to the bottom, and that's what you want. So those line up pretty good. Hi, Karen. Hi, Renee. I gotta get one more glue out of this paper. And I'm gonna stick this on here so I can make sure my fronts and backs line up. And that's the nice thing about the glue stick, is that you've got some wiggle room in order to adjust when you put it on. There we go. So that's the back. Renee, we are making a recipe box into a card box. I had made one of these boxes for my mother-in-law for a Christmas gift and filled it with different greeting cards for her to be able to send out. She likes to send out sympathy cards and birthday cards and that kind of stuff. And being retired, you know, of course they live on a budgeted income, and heavens to Betsy, greeting cards are so expensive. So 3 1/4 on this ends. And so I probably fit probably, oh, I would say 40 cards in this box that I sent to her. And I added envelopes with it. So all she has to do is address them and put stamps on them, and out the door they go. This would be great for people who are on a budgeted income, so that they do have cards. And I think in the lid we could actually, after we get it done, we'll cover this and we'll add a little envelope in here that you could put stamps in, or like a paper clip or something that they could clip a book of stamps to, so that they have them handy. Okay. Hi, Jude Marie. I had done the same thing for my mom, and when I cleaned out her house, I found the box that I had made for her and There was only like 2 cards left in there that I had made for her, so I know she had been sending them out. Okay, so that lines up pretty good. This would also be good for like a college student too who's gone away. You could actually just make note cards and address them to different family members that they could send out to keep in touch, like to grandma and grandpa or auntie or different things like that. Or you could do monthly birthday cards for family members. My brother, I was so impressed when we had my brother's memorial. My other brother took the opportunity to get all the names and birth dates and anniversaries of every member of the family. And then he typed up a birthday list and sent it to us. So now we have all of this paper is an old one. It is the Prima Rose Quartz. And it's just some that I had left over. And so I thought I would just use up what I have. So now we're going to cover the top. And again, we're going to go 6 1/4 by 3 1/8. And like I said, covering this whole box takes 1 sheet of paper. So 3 1/8 by 6 1/4. I'm thinking that might leave us, well, I guess you could get away with that in there. Or you could cut just a little extra piece to stick in there since it's on the inside. We'll work on that in a minute. I think these boxes are like $4.99, $5.99. They're not very expensive. Okay, and that's a perfect fit. Margaret, could you look in the store and find the boxes and put the link up to it? If you can. If you can't, no biggie. I'll get a link to Charlotte after the show. And these would also actually make a good recipe box too if you didn't want to do greeting cards in there, but since we're gonna do some shows on greeting cards, I thought that's what we'd make it for. And this is beautiful paper. But once Prima's done with a line, they don't seem to ever bring it back. And I think this one was like 2 years ago. So it shows how much crafting I have been doing in the last 2 years. This was the first paper I've taken out of that pack, so. Okay. So there's our box. All covered. Doesn't take long. They're $4.50. Thank you, Margaret. Okay, Charlotte. I will get you a couple of them put aside. Okay, so I want to put a handle on the top. And so I have these little handles in the store. So I thought I would put it on the top. And I think I will go this direction with it. My fingers are sticky. Thank you, Margaret. Okay, so I'm just going to eyeball center. And then I got a couple of the Tim Holtz long brads, and I got lots of these in the store, and I've got lots of handles left in the store too. So I'm just going to eyeball center. See where it looks good. And then I'm going to take my little pick and just poke a hole down in there. Okay, so once I get the hole poked in there, I'm going to actually put my brads down in to make sure. And I might need 4. I think I've only got 4 in the store, but it'll only take me a couple days to get some more in, Charlotte. Okay, so those fit, that fits in there, and that fits in there. Okay. And I went with the long brads because some of the shorter ones just don't work. And that's why we're going to put a piece of paper on the inside too. But I'm so picky, I'm actually going to cut into a whole new piece of paper for the inside. Because piecing one just isn't going to work for me. Okay, so now we have a lid. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to actually put some glossy accents over this hole. You know, I cleared this out just before we started, just to make sure it would, but glossy accent seems to clog up quite often. I just want to make sure that they're going to stay. So there's that one. And not pull out. And then I'm going to put a little bit more over it on the inside, just to kind of reinforce it. Okay, so I'm going to cut for the inside of the box. Three and a quarter by 6 1/4. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just cut a whole nother piece of paper. I can use it on a card for in there. I love the little handles. Hi, Nola. By 6 1/4. Ink our edges, and then we'll do a dry fit. I should have done a dry fit before I inked, because if I have to cut it off, then I'm just going to have to ink again. That's okay. Yep, we're good. You're going to have a little hump where the brads are, but no big deal. And the paper will help to hold the brads in too, so that they don't want to open up. Now I don't want to put any paper on the inside because it fits over the box here. But the lid won't harm it any. Okay, so there's our box. So now we can start decorating it. And I was trying to decide, I wanted to put some feet on it. So I have some of the little Tim Holtz feet, which would just lift it up about that much. Not very big. Or I have some of the big feet that would make it real decorative. I'm not sure which one I want to use, so I think I will open it up for both, the big or the little. Big feet. Or little feet. Ready, set, go. Big. We got one big. We got one little. So we're tied. I'm conflicted now. Come on, ladies. Big or little? We're 1 and 1. I can't do both. Next vote wins it. Big. Okay, we're going big. Now, these have holes so that you could put brads or whatever in it. But I'm not going to be poking holes for brads. So I am just going to use my glossy accents. I'm going to put quite a bit on there. I still have big feet in the store. Actually, I have both, big and the little feet in the store. Just going to take a pin and wipe off a little bit of the excess. And you could cover the bottom of your box too if you wanted to. I never thought of that, but I don't think the bottom shows very much. Yeah, I thought that too, except they were the wrong color, to where these were the same color as the handle. Got an excess amount on that one. Hi, Ruby. We are making a card box out of paper mache recipe boxes. We're making them to hold greeting cards. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Margaret. Make sure you get any drippage or anything off. Got these baby wipes, and they are really juicy ones. They're wet. I should leave the thing open so that they dry out a little bit. Okay. So I'm just going to let that sit for a minute before I flip it over. The glossy accents. That's cute. Might have to put a little something on one of the feet, like a little pad or something. Wants to rock. So I think I need it on the back one. So, okay, so now we can start decorating our box. Bye, Renee. Thanks for joining. Okay. So I picked out a few flowers that I had in my stash. And then this came with another Prima line that I had. You know, and I've got so many Gitchy Goos around, and I know all of you do too, that if we just rifled through all of the stuff that we have, we're going to find tons of decorations that we can do. I have drawers and drawers of stuff. How about you? Anybody not have drawers and drawers of stuff that they could pick through? I even sent out like 6 large flat rate boxes of stash to people that bought boxes, and I still have drawers and drawers and drawers of stuff. Hi, Linda. We're making our card box. Just gonna place these on here, and since I've got some clearance on the bottom, I can actually go a little over so I don't have to make them just like that. And then I've got some of the Tim Holtz butterflies, and I still have plenty of these in the store too. Linda, I looked in my drawer the other day and I was so sad because I only have one of my big hunk candy bars left. I'm hoarding it. Okay, so I think it needs some more stuff. And I'm only going to decorate the front. I know. I made them last quite a ways. Although I had to share them with my grandkids once. They opened the drawer and saw them. I wasn't stashing them very well. I have to stand up to look at it to see if I like it. kind of hoping I could find a saying or something to put along the top, but I might just have to do some bling. Let me find some bling. Bling, bling, bling. If I did this, I would have to go all the way around the box, don't you think? Or do you think I could get away with just ending it? I think I'd have to go all the way around the box with it. I still have one sugar daddy left, Margaret. Just one of each. I'm hoarding them. You guys probably think I'm a candy holic. I'm a sugar freak. What do you guys think of that bling? Think I could get away with just doing it on the front? I might have to do two. Oh, I don't like it. Don't like it at all. You like it? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I think though I need the butterfly over here because I've got the clock over here. I need to balance it. I need some balance. Let me see if I've got some pink pearls or something. No bling. A big flower, maybe? Let me get one more flower. Above the butterfly on the top part here. Like here. Is that what you're thinking, Linda? Up here on the top? I don't know if you guys can see those. not the very top, like here or here. Thanks, Annette. I don't like that color flower. It doesn't match. I need one of the light ones. So I could move the butterfly more over like that. Okay, I think this is the direction. How's that? We getting there? I got to keep it kind of up off of it because I don't want it to get caught in there. So, how does that look? What do you think of that? Up a little higher, more to the corner. Okay. Like that. And then my 3 gems there. And then a gem in the center of the clock. How's that? Yay! Everybody agree? Okay. So I think for my flowers, I think I am going to heat up my hot melt glue gun. Coffee break. I like it. Okay, let me grab my glue gun. See my handy dandy holder that Margaret Helderson made me? I probably am not using it the correct way, but it works. I think if I had a smaller glue gun, I could use it the right way. Okay. Clean this all out. And let it heat up some. Hi, Daisy. Well, I'm not going to use it on the gems. I think I'm just going to use a little bit of just a dab of glossy accents. And of course, it doesn't want to come out again. It is a cool holder, and she just used some a glass with some feet on it and a couple of little candle holders and glued it all down. It's fabulous. And it's nice and portable. I can take it from here on my desk over to by my die cut machine and back and forth. Okay, so my gems are down. The water. I'm actually going to use glossy accents. How is life in Brazil, Daisy? How are you doing? I've noticed you've done some classes. And these from Prima are all self-adhesive, but I don't trust that they will stay once you take the backing off. So I always take the backing off, and then I always add glue. Dollar store finds are the best. Hi, June. I would love to have some warm weather, Daisy. Are you guys in your summertime right now? Okay, because I'm going to put my flower on there, I'm just going to leave my leaves right where they're at. And then I'm going to just add my flower on top, and that should make them stick. I'm going to slide this out. And I have put my art glitter glue in one of the fine line bottles just because I find it easier to use. Okay, So now let's start working on getting these flowers put down. I'm going to work from this side to that side. And the same thing with these. I'll leave my leaves there. Ta-da! Where did you come, Daisy? What places did you visit when you came to the United States? Oh, good, June. Have you used it? That embossing folder was really popular. I've got a butterfly one that we're going to use to make some of our first cards. So I'm going to, like I was saying, I'm going to do cards for a while just to keep my head above water. And I'm going to do some card kits. So there it is. What do you guys think? And then we've got our handle on the top. Not that you would use it to pull it off, but you could. Ta-da! Hi, Heather. Linda, I am going to do card kits. And I think I'm going to start it after the first of the year. I'm going to take some time to kind of put things together between now and the first part of the year. Florida, Disney, Orlando, Sarasota. Oh, that sounds fabulous, Daisy. And what I thought I'd do is I would do 3 different style cards with the same stuff, and then send enough for you to make 4 of each 3 different style of cards. And it will probably include a stamp or a die. Just kind of got to get it together. I think I'll start out slow the first time and kind of use up things that I've got here still in stock, and then we'll go from there. See how it takes out. I might just become the card queen. What do you think? In Florida this time of year is the perfect weather. So I do have the recipe boxes in the store. They are recipe boxes. They are not card boxes, but that's why we cut the back off, because our cards will be a little bit taller than what recipe cards are. And so your box lid will fit down on there, but there will be probably a slight gap of about that much when the cards are in there. So it's not going to be a big gap. And if that bothered you, you could, put a little bit of cardboard or something in there. But I found that by cutting the top off, it was just about that much too tall. Much taller than the recipe. Card Queenie Carol, yes. Okay, well then that sounds like a plan for me to get to work on. I appreciate you all joining me. This is our finished box. Didn't take long to make. I do have the Tim Holtz feet and the butterflies and the recipe boxes in the store. If I run out, I can always get more, but this will be our start. This is what we'll be using to put our cards in. And then I am going to encourage everyone to start sending cards, writing notes, handwritten notes, and sending it to the people you love. So I am going to sign off. Thank you all so much for joining me. I had fun. And if I don't see you before Christmas, you all have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Let's pray that our New Years are all full of just fun things. Love you all. Thanks for joining. See you soon.